Hello, my name is Tony Cuda. I teach English at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and I'm one of a team of 9 co-editors on the Complete Prose of T.S. Eliot, the critical edition, in 8 volumes. And for the past few years, I've been working with Johns Hopkins University Press and Project Muse as managing editor of the new, enhanced, and redesigned digital edition of the prose, which I'm going to show you around a bit today. We were thrilled when the Complete Prose in all 8 volumes appeared in PDF form on Project Muse between 2014 and 2019. Especially after the hardcover print edition appeared a few years later, it seemed like we had the best of both worlds. On the previous platform, users could search all 8 volumes and quickly access the essay or review that they needed, then download or save it for later in this print-ready PDF format. But we know that PDFs, as print substitutes, can't take full advantage of the digital medium, which is why we're delighted at this new, redesigned, and enhanced HTML edition of the platform, which keeps everything that was great about the first one and adds a ton of new features and functionalities. So on the new platform, you can still find everything here from the landing page, and now you can also download a full PDF or EPUB version, which is a great new addition. But whereas before you could only download the PDF or save it to your library, now you can view each file in this new HTML format, which is where things have really changed. Here you'll find the full text of the edition, some 6,540 pages, well over 3 million words, all meticulously encoded, proofread, and formatted to match and enhance the existing PDF and print versions. The HTML uses what's called responsive web design, so it shifts and moves features around depending on how you're viewing it, whether you need to resize the window or access it on a phone or tablet. But however you view it, and this is important, the HTML text features these page markers so that the entire edition is paginated identically with the PDF and print versions. So page 590 on volume 1 in any of the 3 is exactly the same. This is really crucial for students and researchers who want the ease and functionality of online texts, but really need to trust in the reliability and the consistency of primary sources like this. Another navigational feature that's really useful is the left side tab menu. These are fixed tabs, so they're here anytime you're reading. The top one takes you straight to the table of contents of the current volume, so you know where you are. The bottom one shows thumbnails of the pages adjacent to yours, like flipping forward and backward in a book. Best of all is this middle one, which lets you jump to any page in the volume without needing to scroll forever or navigate back to the table of contents. So if you're reading a book that cites volume 1, page 106, you can just come straight here, enter that info, and go to the page straight away, which happens to be one of a fascinating series of papers that Eliot wrote as a graduate student in philosophy. Or volume 4, page 790, where you can jump here and find this unpublished set of lecture notes for English 26, a course Eliot taught on his contemporaries while he was at Harvard in the spring of 1933. It includes wonderful thoughts on Joyce and Lawrence, and even his quirky concluding remarks about his own performance. Could do it much better a second time. As editors, we always envisioned annotations that keep the reader in the text, that enriched the reading experience rather than distracting from it. And this new platform helps to realize that intention even more effectively because you can now access the annotations in so many different ways. First, hovering over them brings up the full note in a modal pop-up window. Second, if the screen allows for it, they'll automatically appear in line at the right-hand margin, aligned horizontally with the superscript. And third, clicking on the superscript in the text will take you to whichever version, the footnote or the endnote, is accessible and align it at the top of the screen, so you can always find what you're looking for right away. And clicking again takes you back to the superscript at the top edge of the screen. Of course, each cross-reference in the notes is hyperlinked, so when you find something you want to know more about, like these extension lectures or the continuing education classes that Eliot gave during World War I, you can just jump right there and check out the notes from 1917, back in Volume 1. You'll notice that the sticky black menu bar appears and disappears when you scroll. This is another great navigational feature of the new platform. It lets you view and automatically generate a citation for the volume you're using in multiple styles, jump to a summary, the table of contents, check the images or the index. The best part is that it also gives you access to the search bar, which is where we get to see some of the most valuable enhancements to the new platform. So Let's say I'm reading The Wasteland here on tseliot.com, and I come across that beautiful line near the end, the awful daring of a moment's surrender. And I wonder where surrender might show up elsewhere in Eliot's nonfiction prose. A quick search here shows 45 results over the whole edition, each result often including several instances. The results page now also shows you where the term appears and gives you a snippet view of the context, so you can judge its relevance. The first one sounds like a plot synopsis, which isn't what I want, but this one's better, Eliot's well-known essay, Tradition and the Individual Talent. This one's even more interesting, though, because it's a much lesser-known lecture published at around the same time, and this is great. Clicking View Paragraph takes me directly to the result, and not just to the essay, but to the paragraph where the search term appears, which is bolded or emphasized. I love this feature, and I think it's easy to overlook. Remember, even a Google search only takes you to the page. You still need to Control F to find your term. So it's quick, it's intuitive, and it's really easy to keep on reading. If you become utterly engrossed and want to see what comes next, you just scroll past the endnotes. The new platform actually detects your progress and auto-loads the next to streamline the reading experience. You can lose yourself in 7,000 pages of Eliot's prose criticism if you're so inclined. Let's say you decide, okay, I only want the term surrender in essays that Eliot wrote around the time of The Wasteland. Well, you can come back here and scan results according to volume, apply that facet to your search, and you get only those results. You can refine your search even further according to whether it was a lecture. You can set the minimum and maximum dates, say 1919 to 1921 or 22. You can also come back here, clear facets, and check these new header tabs to see whether the term was used by the editor somewhere in the footnotes, or whether there happens to be an entry in the index or an image where it appears. This one takes you to an image that was printed in Volume 3 of a famous letter from Eliot in 1928. And there's the last line Eliot wrote after he had made his first confession as an Anglican, remarking an extraordinary sense of surrender and gain. As a side note for librarians and information managers, you'll be happy to know that Project Muse uses item-level MARC records for this product, which means that they've gone to great lengths to make sure that it's eminently searchable and discoverable, and that the metadata records are rich and accurate. One thing you won't know from just using the prose is that Muse is treating it as a flagship digital humanities project. There are 75,000 ebooks and 700 journals accessible from their site already, and the Eliot Prose is the first of a new category, the primary source, and it's fully integrated into their ecosystem. So anyone searching the Muse platform for any purpose will find results from Eliot's prose. It's a really exciting time to be a student of T.S. Eliot, and we couldn't be happier with the result of this collaborative project between Johns Hopkins, Project Muse, and the whole editorial team of the Complete Prose of T.S. Eliot. Thanks for watching.